not having this card be explained to you growing up is exactly where your life needed to be, so that this can be explained to you at whatever age you are now, so that it can be explained to you and you can properly sift through all of this into a way that catapults you into your divine purpose. Back, TAKful Creator here. Okay, let's get started. May God the Creator bless us. May God the Redeemer heal us. May God the Holy Spirit enlighten us. Give us eyes to see, ears to hear, and hands to do the work of God. Feet to walk the path of justice, and mouths to preach the good news. May the angel of peace, prosperity, love, abundance, kindness, grace, and mercy watch over us and lead us to the reign of God. Ashe. Ashe, 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 ashe. Let's see what we have here. I appreciate you all for watching. Thank you for your energetic compliance. Thank you for your energetic support. You're so amazing for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If it's your first time, if you're choosing to, come back and be a loyal, dedicated viewer, I appreciate you. That means you're my soul family. Come in for a hug. Come here. Let me love you. Thank you. And I'm loving you regardless. Just know that, whether you accept it or not, okay? The love will be there once you accept it. Okay, so I guess that's a part of the reading today, right? Love will be there once you accept it. Love is a concept, okay? And just like most concepts, unless your perception aligns, unless your frequency aligns, your ability to see it, your ability to perceive it will not be. What does that mean? Okay. So let's say if I never know what cold feels like, you can put me in the dead of winter and I can never tell you I'm cold, because no one has explained what cold means to me up until this point. No one has given me the experience. No one has even given me the definition or the word to express the feeling. So yes, I might shiver. Yes, I might be lethargic. Yes, I might be near frozen if I was put in negative degree temperatures for an extended period of time. But I will not be able to tell you I'm cold. Okay? It's the same thing with love. You can experience love. People can throw love at you. People can engulf you with love. But until you have the awareness, until your eyes or one of your senses is able to truly understand the experience you're having is the definition of love, you won't be able to see it, say it, or even offer it to anyone else. Okay? So let's see how that ties into the reading with these cards. Okay, so I'm being told don't flip this one over yet. This is going to be our last identifier. Okay, it's very interesting that they want me to set up the cards. Normally I'm tapping into very chaotic energy, but I guess today this part of the collective that's truly calling out, that truly needs our assistance, wants us to know that they're systematic. Okay, yes, they're detailed oriented, but it has to be in simplest form. Okay, where there's simplicity, there's the ability to expand. Okay, and that's where this energy truly is taking over. Okay, they would like to expand. And for us in the collective, we know that any amount of growth, any amount of expansion comes from love. That is the baseline. Love is creation. So is health. So is expansion. So is all of the positive, or are all of the positive things that we yearn for in life, all stems from love. Okay, or the embodiment of healthy love. I'm going to put that specification in there. Okay, so here we have the Ace of Cups in reverse, right? Now this is really interesting if we're talking about love, right? Why? Because the Ace of Cups usually symbolizes life. It's the gift of life. It is the ability to make something out of what is visibly nothing. Okay? But it being in the reverse here is showing that there is a lack of connection with that creation. It's a lack of connection with the level of purity that is necessary for this level of creation. Okay? So think of like water, the freshness of water, the flowing of water. Okay? And think about how in water things travel, things move. Ships carry cargo. Let's say if you're giving birth, your water breaks prior to birthing, or let's say you are wanting to make a fire, right? Well, what do you have around that fire in the event that that fire becomes uncontrollable? Water. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, even though water can create, the level of creation is not only building, it can also mean destroying. Okay, and in this sense, we have the destroying aspect of creativity. Okay, we talked about love and how love is the center of where creativity stems. You have a love for your business, a love for your people, a love for yourself, a love for your hobby, and that's how you're able to expand it. Okay, well, in this same sense, you have to have that internal love for ... in order to expand it. Okay, that's what's missing. Okay, so maybe there's an energy here that's dealing with a heartbreak. Okay, or maybe they're separating from what they feel is true spirituality. You may have grown up and true spirituality was religion, and now you're realizing true spirituality is your connection and energy to everything around you, even if it has nothing to do with an energy that may have once looked like me and you. It has everything to do with all the energies that don't look like me and you, that are still as important as the energies that look like me and you. Okay? In this energy, you have to be willing to look inward. Okay, you have to be able to explore your own insecurities, and that's mainly why love is so potent. It's because it's there unconditionally, despite insecurities, despite flaws, despite drawbacks. Okay, but there's a level of, you see the eyes are closed, but the eyes are closed where the water is above it. Like, I don't want to say like a wake-up call, but it's like someone splashing water in your face to kind of like a come to Jesus moment. I'm not really getting baptism, but I'm definitely getting like like a refresher. You need a refresher. Okay? With the cat's eyes being closed, I'm also getting that you have to kind of keep your eyes peeled. In this energy you're in, your eyes are closed. There's a blindness to you. Like, it could be spiritual blindness, it could be physical blindness, but I'm really gauging like you're not seeing what everyone else can see so simply. Okay, and that is why you're receiving so many criticisms. Okay, so since you're blind for now, and you can see the people or the points of criticism, separate yourself from those and see if you're able to see more on your own. Okay, I've also learned, and I know camera always likes to shut off. Okay, so let's say there's a cat, right? A cat that's out in the wilderness, right, near a city or town. They stroll into the city or town to look for fresh food and water sources. So there's an owner that has a lot of cats and notices this cat over here. Well, because the owner has so much love for their own cats, they're willing to overflow that love to the stray cat. Now, the stray cat is only looking for fresh food, fresh water. They're not looking for love. They're not looking for anything that is beyond their immediate necessities. Okay, so they accept the food and water from this random stranger, and they continue to do this on a recurring basis. At no point does this stray cat see that the owner is offering love. However, all the cats that are at the owner's house can see the love that is being offered to this other cat. Now, mind you, they're all cats, but the experiences that they had up until this point did not offer them the definition of what love is, for them to be like, okay, well, let me offer it back to you. So the cat keeps coming back because their needs are being met. Food and water. Now, if they realize another need was love, and they see that the owner is offering something they have to the cat to give love, the cat would then want to do the same thing back. And maybe a cat can go get, like, kill the mice, right? Or kill the stray animals that are messing up a garden or something like that. And the cat brings those, those carcasses back to the owner, letting the owner know, like, you're feeding me fresh food and I'm taking care of what could be messing up your fresh garden. I'm offering you the love that you're giving me back to you because I can see that it's love. The cats in the house are making sure there's no mice and stuff like that in the house. There's no bugs and stuff like that in the house. The cats in the house are making sure that they're, loving up on the owner. But the cat outside was not given the prerequisites to even understand what is necessary. They only know their belly is growling, they need food. They need to groom themselves, they need water. You get what I'm saying? So, you're in a space right now where you're surrounded by stray cats. You're a stray cat surrounded by stray cats, but you want to be treated like a house cat. You have to understand what house cats understand in order for you to assimilate in that environment. Okay, and that's where this Ace of Cups now moves into this Five of Wands energy. Okay, now with this Five of Wands energy, it's in the upright, which is positive, right? Because there's only so many toys to go around, but as you can see, there's more than enough for the cats that are there. Okay, so maybe that is the first concept of getting away from the stray cat energy, is you understanding that the scarcity mindset has to be removed from you. You can't live in scarcity anymore. Scarcity? Whichever you prefer. Okay, what does that mean? If we're going back to our example of the stray cat. Well, as a stray cat, you see food, you're going to gobble it all up. There's no return later and there, the food will still be there. You only understand as a stray cat, you finished a bowl, and if you finished a bowl, possibly there will be another bowl that has food in it. The cats inside the house understand that they can take a nibble right now, leave, and then come back to it and take another nibble, and leave and come back to it and take another nibble. They don't have to gorge themselves in one moment. Okay? So 50%. Confirmation, right? Because 50, because that's what it said, 50, 50, is faith, right? That's what we're talking about, the scarcity mindset. You have to remove that. You have to have faith that things will still be. Faith that things are still working out for you, that you still have the safety and security. Okay? Faith. Well, in the scenario that we gave, right? Your eyes are like too much on the prize, but it's necessary because you have the mindset of scarcity. Like, if this is all you know, you have to be taught out of it, okay? Which means that you have to kind of see what is going on around you and embody it somewhat. But you're embodying it without the understanding of why you're doing it, okay? That's what's lacking here. So you're super focused on the toys that are here. You're super focused on the goal that is set, that you're kind of missing everything that's around you. And that would be the more negative aspect of the card. But we see that as in the upright. And that's because competitiveness is usually surrounded by energies that are too focused on the prize. Competitiveness, chaos, commotion. I mean, cooperation, definitely. You see both these cats are working together to focus on all of these toys. There's cooperation that's there. But look, the toys are not just like the cards. The toys are not in line. They're not simple. They're not simplistic. It's like you have to kind of look around to see what toys attached to what, stick, because there's a cord attaching them. So it's like a little maze. So it's like be prepared to fight for your fair share, even though there's plenty to go around. Okay? But again, when you have that lack mindset, that scarcity mindset, this is called survival mode. That's what you're a part of, survival mode. Right? You have to remove yourself from survival mode. Okay? Now, if the card was reversed, and I want to put this out there, because oftentimes when we speak about cards in the upright, they're more positive. But this message for the Five of Wands is more encouraging if it's in the reverse. Why? Because it suggests more of a spiritual break, right? Like the mask of the 3D is off. You're no longer focused on the rat race, right? You're no longer focused on the competitiveness of your necessities. You're more so focused on the purpose behind it. And the more you align with purpose, the more you see that your necessities will be taken care of for you by the divine. Right? We have this wind that, is in support of what I'm saying, right? You'll have divine encouragement, but that's because your focal point isn't on the materials around you in the 3D. Your focal point is on the 5D, is on the spiritual. Okay? It's like the concept of shoot for the moon, you'll land on a star type of thing. You're not even shooting for anything in the galaxy. You're shooting for the sidewalk. You get what I'm saying? Like, look up and shoot for the moon type of thing, right? So we're not going to look into this card. We're going to keep moving, because although we're establishing this for the reading, reading purposes, you also are aware of this information. Like, you're a chosen energy. You're fully functional. No one's telling you that we're here because you don't know the information and we're correcting you. You know what's going on, but there is an aspect of this path that you're on that your experiences up until this point have not taught you. So because of that, you see it happening around you, but just like we said before with love, if you never experienced it, if you never told the definition of it, how can you offer it? Okay, so you're offering breakup energy. Well, that's probably because, your family has put you in that rejection energy very often. Well, that dog-eat-dog competitive world, well, that is society. So, of course, we don't have to show you that. You've learned that up until this point. There's something that you weren't able to experience. But then you were able to experience this Page of Swords energy. Okay? Now, what does that mean to us? Well, as a Page of Swords, it's a reminder to, stay on your toes. It's a reminder to observe, to have awareness. Like, a lot of people observe because, you want to look around to make sure things are where they are. Okay, you want to look around to see what you can get. But in this regard, you need to look around purposely to see the hints and clues, the signs and synchronicities, because there is imminent danger. Now again, everyone learns that from childhood, right? If you're not able to eat, imminent danger, you starve to death. If you're not able to sleep deprivation, right? So you see the dangers of not keeping to your tasks. But in the reverse here, there's so much trouble on the horizon, or what seems like so much chaos, so many tower moments, right? That it's becoming difficult to match your words with your actions, to align how you feel with purposeful steps to align yourself with your destined path. Okay? So because of this misalignment, there's a bit of underlying agitation. I'm not even getting like you're screaming to the world, but I'm getting like there's a cloud around you. There's an aura that is encompassing you, that even with the smile on your face, people can tell you're not in a good energy. Okay? Now, when you are not in a good energy, you can't lie to the universe. If you're not in a good energy, then that's what you're going to attract. Okay, even if you have a smile on your face. Okay, so it's like I'm looking around and I'm going to see what could have a potential danger, right? And what doesn't have potential danger. That is how you can practice discernment. So for example, if I'm looking around at the table, right? Stuff that's plugged in, potential danger. Well, if I was near water, that could be dangerous, right? Potential danger of the cards. If I'm not careful, I can get a paper cut, you know. And what you're doing with that is like you're categorizing things. Like getting electrocuted and a paper cut are two different outcomes. Okay, so you're putting things in perspective. And the more you put things in perspective, the easier it becomes at putting things in perspective, the safer you're going to feel in new environments, because you're going to be able to trust your own skill sets with knowing what is dangerous and what isn't dangerous. Right now, you're coming from a background of everything is dangerous around you. And if that's the case, then you're always going to be in high alert. You're always going to be in survival mode. You have to remove yourself from survival mode. I'm sensing now that we've kind of jumped over this card, that what you were missing was the understanding of why everything takes place. It is not to bully you, it is to grow you. But you can only grow if you understand what's going on. And people forced you to grow physically, emotionally, spiritually, or whatever. They forced you to grow without proper understanding. So now you have to reteach yourself. Okay? And the divine, the spiritual aspects of you sees that you're ready. Okay? But you have to have faith. Okay? So now that we're going into more of like the ending of what this phase is, we can see that the Ten of Pentacles, how it brings success, right? How it brings, I want to say glory. Like it brings favor, but not without its hiccups. You get what I'm saying? It's like not without its twists and turns. Okay, so like if you look at this cat, it's like there's no bowl here, right? There's no bowl here. It's kind of like they are sitting like in an open structure. You don't really see many things. It doesn't look like a toy pen or anything. It just looks like they're in a regular room. Okay, and the owner, or you know, a human, is offering it some kind of snacks. Now they're not offering it in the hand, they're offering it on the floor, something that's a little bit beneath the cat, so the cat can kind of be over it, so the cat can feel like, you know, I don't want to say like they have power, but like feel like they're in control over what's going on, right? But again, there's no bowl. So they were not aware that there was going to be a treat. They were not aware that success was going to come. They were not aware that a blessing or a miracle was going to be transformed for them. But it was given. And no matter how it was given, they were called to adapt and to humbly and gracefully accept it. But with a scarcity mindset, there's a part of you that needs control over it, because just as quickly as someone favored you and offered it, they can quickly take it away, and you don't want them to take it away because you felt so much when you didn't have. Those feelings are almost indescribable to you because no one taught you really how to describe those feelings. They just taught you like that's how everyone feels. So at this point, you feel like it's just a part of life and you don't want to go back to that feeling. So you are going to gain control over the reward, in a sense, that you're receiving. Okay, now again, this reward is food. It's something that is a necessity, but it's all about mindset. Okay, now in the upright, this did not happen out of nowhere, right? The owner is not just going to walk up to you and just offer you something on a whim, right? There has to be something additional that you've done to be given this reward, even if it's not in this exact moment. Okay, so let's say if it was in this exact moment, you can say the cat did a trick and you gave it a treat. Or, you know, it's not in this exact moment. The cat spent all day being a good cat. So when you return home from your trip and you notice nothing scratched on, there's no litter out of place, you know, furs in the necessary spots, and the cat is happy to see you, you give it an additional treat because they behaved all day. That's an example of how your reward may not be immediate. Okay, so it's like, even with that example, you couldn't like be mean to your owner once the owner came in. You wouldn't get a treat. Like, you had to continue the good behavior while the owner was there, so they can see the maintained behavior, your authenticity, and based on your authenticity, whether the owner's there or not, whether, you know, you're getting a reward or not, what is your behavior? Okay, and now you can receive a reward. Okay, so this card is really telling you to be generous with yourself. Okay, scarcity mindset also means you don't want to offer yourself either. Okay, because you're not getting, you don't want to give. Now you're being called to offer yourself. Give a little bit more than you would normally, and see what happens. See if that's multiplied back to you. Okay, you have to remove certain behaviors of survival mode, so you can be in survivor mode. Okay, survival with an AL and survivor with the OR is two different things. Okay, now even with these rewards, your head's bowed, you kind of don't want to be rubbed, like you're not really happy. There's no level of jubilance with this because you still have that scarcity mindset. It's like, oh, this still can be taken away. Okay, so if we move into this Queen of Swords energy, right, because that's the last of where your torment is coming from, right? At least on this board so far. Okay, it notes that you as a person are normally sharp and quick-witted, right? That's a part of your core essence. But because of your prerequisites up until this point of lack, of rejection, of a lot of negative things, your awareness, your sharp mind, your self-awareness is bogged down with negativity, is riddled with toxicity. So your self-talk isn't good. Your self-talk isn't positive. When you're by yourself, with yourself, you're not treating yourself with care. You're not treating yourself with kindness. Like, your leisure time, you're probably beating yourself up, opposed to, you know, thanking yourself for getting through whatever you needed to. Offering appreciation to yourself for making it this far. But also being real with yourself, like, I made it this far, but I still have places to go. Like, I've done so much, but there's still so much left to do. Okay? Like, you also have to have that I don't want to say criticism about yourself, but you kind of have to be realistic with yourself, balanced. Okay? And with this card being in the reverse, the major downfall is being a bit too self-critical. Okay, so I gave you one example of how being with yourself cannot be too positive, but let's say that when you're with yourself, you're demonizing what you're doing. You're overly cynical about your own behaviors. Like, Maybe your mom or your dad, aunts, uncles, siblings have spoken to you like that up until this point. Cousins, I'm gauging, like that was everyone's normal speech. Well, you have to teach yourself now that that is not normal. If we were on a scale talking about what is balance, that proves an imbalance there. Okay? Why? Because if you leave out a situation where you're too emotionally afflicted, you are not at peace. If you leave a situation and you're more agitated, you're not at peace. If you leave a situation and you're more happy, you're not at peace. Why? Because peace is like 0 on a line. You have negative numbers, you have positive numbers, but there's a neutral point. The origin, it's 0. Okay, that's peace, that's balance, that's contentment, which means you understand the pros and cons of each situation. You're not too overly excited, but you're not too depressed and melancholy about it. All right? Here, you're moving too much in the negative. You're too depressed and melancholy. No, we're not telling you to act happy. That is a facade. That's fake. What we're telling you is see how you can remove some of that sadness from you. So instead of thinking you need to be in the positive numbers, your goal right now is to be at 0, is to be at nil, to be at the origin. Okay? And now that we've actually moved through all of these cards, sifting through the different aspects of ourselves that we need to realign in order to become one with the divine, we can see now what the universe has removed from your canon moments to bring you up into this point, right? Only to revisit your canon moments, okay? So the universe is not going to give you a bunch of experiences without them meaning something for you, okay? Or without you having to revisit them at some point in time, okay? So not having this card be explained to you growing up is exactly where your life needed to be, so that this can be explained to you at whatever age you are now, so that it can be explained to you and you can properly sift through all of this into a way that catapults you into your divine purpose. Okay? That's how I know this message is good, because the amount of times the camera shuts off and I don't even know where it ends. So just notice that, okay? If you're ever watching any of my readings and you're just like, what was she going to say? How was she going to say it? Why did she purposely take it out of it? No, she didn't. The universe said that neither me or you or any other energies is ready for that. However, there may be an energy around me that needed to hear that, okay? Everything happens for a reason. Okay, so don't think you missed out. There's no FOMO here, okay? Don't think you missed out. It just wasn't meant for you, okay? All right. But you know what is meant for you? This hermit mode. Okay, so I'm going to thoroughly explain it for you. So what is the hermit? Well, the hermit is part of the major arcana, right? And the major arcana, they basically symbolize the true essence of life. Right, the true essence of the character traits of life. And the minor arcana is how that can shift, right? So let's say we have 2 cards here. Well, how do we make sure that we know that they're cards? Well, because of their basic structure. That would be the major arcana. The minor arcana would be, well, we know that this card is a pentacle and this card is a sword. Well, how do we know that? By the small the small characteristic traits of the card. And that's how we separate based on that, okay? So we know that these are cards and this is a table, major arcana. But then we know that the difference in these cards is da-da-da-da-da-da-da. That would be the minor arcana, okay? So with the hermit, a major aspect of life is how do I best explain this? The major lesson of life is it all starts from within. Okay, that's what this Hermit card is about. Okay, so you're seeing the breakups, you're seeing the lack of love, you're seeing the rejection, you're seeing the competitiveness, you're seeing the, always looking over your shoulder, you're seeing the minor rewards and successes you get if, you keep your nose down and stuff like that. Like, you understand that in order for you to get anything done, like, you had to embody the energies that were around you to move through, right? You had to assimilate in order for you to get through whatever you had to get through. But you were not taught that. You only had all of these experiences because there's a part of your internal world that is craving a change, that is craving development, that is craving purpose. And it takes these external experiences to move you on a path, move you in a direction that is most meant for you. Okay, so with the card being in the upright, it's talking about your ability to remove your physical self from other people or from other physical selves to tap into the ethereal self, right? The spiritual self. Okay, so what does this take? It takes chakra alignment. It takes you seeing that there's more to you than what you see. There's more to you than what you can do. There's more to you than what you can get, right? It would take you understanding your connection, your internal connection to the stuff that is in your immediate environment. So what does that mean? Okay, so what is your internal connection to a tree? What is your internal connection to a chair? What is your internal connection to the people that live around you? What is your internal connection to the hobbies that you associate with? Okay, what is your drive? Where does it come from? Who does it come from? Were you taught it by a person? Were you forced to be a part of it? It's really understanding who you are as a person internally based on how you had to show up for life externally. Okay, and it takes you removing yourself from all these energies and basically feeling safe within yourself. There's a part of you that doesn't feel safe with the person you know yourself as, with your own thoughts, with your own company. You don't feel safe, you don't feel secure. So how are you able to do that in life? How are you able to share stability with someone else if you don't feel stable by yourself? If you don't have peace of mind personally, how can you nurture and care for someone else's peace of mind by, right, letting them have peace of mind without your chaos, or allowing their chaos to be pacified by your peace of mind? Okay, we see the Eye of Horus here, right, on the card. Now, generally the Eye of Horus is meaning protection and healing, but we see that it's in the reverse here. Even though the card's in the upright, the eye is drawn in the reverse. So to everyone else, how it looks isn't how it seems. Okay, so for you, the eye is in the upright. You know you're protecting yourself. You know you're healing yourself by removing all this external energy and finding who you truly are, despite what is put on your plate. Okay, but everyone else can see it as you removing yourselves from them. You may be a scaredy cat, you being stuck up, you hiding. Okay, the world may seem like it's attacking you for wanting to protect and wanting to heal yourself. Why? Because where there is one, there must be two. If you are focusing on healing, there has to be something to heal from. If you're focusing on protection, there has to be something to protect yourself from. that is the yin and yang of awareness. So a lot of the time, you aren't offered the awareness to know that some things have to happen in order to propel you forward. Okay? You have to be a part of this little rat race in order for you to get the successes. However, you don't have to view it like a rat race. You can view it like a spiritual journey, right? This is just one level that you have to pass. This is a checkpoint you have to pass to get to the next level, right? The ultimate supreme level of the game you want to play. That's the rewards over here. And the rewards are overflowing. Okay? And you're not even worried. You're not even focusing on the rewards overflowing. Right? Because you're no longer tiptoeing. Right? You're no longer tiptoeing around people, people pleasing, not wanting to step on anyone's feet, kind of like rattle anyone's feathers, upset anyone. You just don't want to bother people because you realize that that could very quickly take away minimal successes that you were given. But that was only because you had so much critical self-talk, and that's gone now. Because you realize in hermit mode, when you feel safe and secure within yourself, there's no need to talk about yourself in a harsh way. There's no need to be brash. There's no need to be aggressive with the person you're supposed to love most in the entire world. Self. You can't do anything without self. Okay? And when you're able to find that love for self, i.e. self-love, self-care, and do that without guilt, without feeling like it's taken away from you assisting someone else in something. When you understand that the love that you're offering yourself will overflow so that you can love and care for other people in that way, and in actuality you are creating more positivity, more growth for not only you in your personal endeavors, in your personal life, but also for other people, for them to learn, and so that they can go into this hermit mode and succeed. And at that point, this card would then be in reverse. You will no longer need to be in hermit mode. You already understand how to meditate, when you need to seclude, when you need to remove, when you need to let go, because you've already practiced that discernment. Now everyone is looking at you as a beacon of protection, as a beacon of healing. You are the symbol now, because you were able to tap into all of these different aspects of everyone's life and find that one integral key: awareness. You nurtured that skill so well that you are now a role model. You are what everyone else is modeling themselves after, because you did the personal internal work, which again required no one else but you and a divine source. Okay? So yes, you know my philosophy. If we're moving the cards around and flipping them over and reinstating them, we are assisting the chosen energy we're speaking to. We're assisting confirmation. We're assisting that chosen energy with transmutation. Okay? A lot of the time it's hard to shift your energy. It's hard for you to like jump into gear and get the motivation. Well, we energetically did that for you. Okay, so we didn't manifest anything today purposefully. We can at least say we intentionally manifested that this energy have the positive awareness to progress themselves. Okay, so I'm open for personals. You can contact me.